welcome back to the channel. I'm Lauren, and in today's video I'll be continuing my new tips and tricks series focusing on coloring different types of metal, so gold, silver, rose gold, bronze. In the previous video I demonstrated how I color gold, and I will link that video up in the corner. Today we're going to be focusing on coloring silver. I will show you some pages where I have used this technique in my coloring books. I'll show you some coloring combinations. I'll explain the materials that I'm using, and of course I will show you the technique. I just want to comment that even though I'll be using Prismacolors for this tutorial, the technique can be applied to any pencil brand, so Polychromos, Arteza, Luminance. You pick your favorite brand and you can apply the technique to it. So let's get started. Right, so let's get started with some of the materials that I'll be using. First of all, let me show you my color combinations. Okay, so I keep them in this little box, and okay, put that out the way. So one of them is, as I said, Prismacolors. So I'll be using black 935, cool gray 90%, 1067, slate gray 936, metallic silver 949, white 938, and in Polychromos those colors are 199, 181. This slate gray does not exist in the Polychromos set, so I've used the Faber-Castell black number 34, or you could just use slate gray or any other muted bluish color. And 251, that's if you want to use Polychromos. Okay, and the other combination that I'll be using is also Prismacolors, and I've also got the equivalent in Pablo's. So it's 1086, which is blue, sky blue light, 1022, which is Mediterranean blue, 1061, which is 30% cool gray, 1063, which is 50% cool gray, and black 935. If you're using the Pablo's, so it is 371, 155, 4, 6, and 9. So those are the color combinations that we're going to be demonstrating. And I have all my pencils here, and of course I also have a white gel pen. So I'm using the Languo color gel pen. It's got the plus on it, P600B. So I like this one because it has a rather large nib. Okay, so another thing that I want to show you, let's move the pencils aside, is how I will be demonstrating. So I'm going to use these small illustrations of cogs, okay? And then we're going to be doing this cog in silver, okay? And I'm going to show two different color combinations, okay? So I will explain this in more detail when I get to the technique. So I'm going to show you some examples from pages that I've colored. The first one is from Romantic Country, The First Tale by Erie, and it is this kitchen page. So on this page I have quite a few different metals, including iron, which I will show how to do in a separate video. But here I have the silver milk canisters. So I colored this using Prismacolor pencils, and the combination that I used was the powder blue, Mediterranean blue, cool gray 30 and 50, and black, and it came out this silver. So yeah, I really like the way that came out. Okay. Next, I have Dreamtime Special. This is a Coloring Heaven magazine with art by Hannah Carlson. This page is also in Magical Dawn, I believe, which I've just recently gotten, and I'm going to redo this page. Okay, so this is it. So I did her crown and her necklace in silver, and here I'm trying to remember. I think it's also Prismacolor. Yes, it's also Prismacolors, but this is not the same combination. I think I used some sepia here as well for the mid-tone sections of the crown over there and over there and over here and over here. So it's a slightly different combination, but the technique is the same. Okay. Next, I have Creative Haven Steampunk Fashions, and the artwork in this book is by Marty Noble. And the page that I did with silver is this one, the Steampunk Traveler. And again, I've used lots of different metals on this page. So I've got some bronze, some gold, but the silver that I did is this one, and this is the Pablo's pencils. Okay, so it's Caran d'Ache Pablo pencils, and again I used the silver that has more of a bluish tint because I wanted it to match her denim outfit, and that's why I have used that combination. Yeah, this also came out really nicely. I was still learning how to do metals when I colored this page. Okay, next we have another Creative Haven. This time it's Creative Haven Owls, and this is with line art by Marjorie Sarnat. And the owl that I did with metals is the Steampunk Owl. So again, lots of different metallic combinations here, gold and bronze and copper, but I also did the silver here. I got two different combinations for silver. One is the one with the bluish tint, like in the Steampunk Fashions book, and the other one is the other combination without the blue, which I will also demonstrate. So that's what we have over here and here and here, and then the one with the blue is the bicycle. I also have steel here, which is a different color combination. It's not so much a different color combination as a different lights and shadows. So I will explain all of that when I do steel and iron video. Okay. Last but not least, we have a Game of Thrones coloring book with artwork by various artists. One of them is one of my favorite artists, Tomislav Tomic, but I'm not sure that this is his page. Anyway, this page I've got the silver on the banner, around the shield and on the fish. And here I used Derwent drawing pencils, which are also a softer pencil similar to Prismacolors. Nevertheless, as I said, it does not matter which brand of pencil you use, you apply the same technique. Also, one of the benefits of this page is that the artist actually gives you some of the shading. So some of the shading is indicated on the page itself. So for example, I knew to put my shadows here and here and here because that's where the artist put their indications of shadows, and here as well along the edge of the banner and also on the fish. Some coloring books actually indicate where the shadows and highlights need to go, and it's just a matter of putting the pencil down, which is a huge bonus. Another page that I've done is this one, also from Game of Thrones, and it is Daario Naharis, and the silver is on his armor. So here again, I've got iron and silver, so it's iron on the knife and the scythe, and it's silver on his armor pads here on his shoulders and his knee pads. Here also, what did I use here? No, I think this is Polychromos. This is Polychromos pencils, and also some watercolor marker to deepen up shadows. So over here and over here, I actually put down some watercolor marker to make the shadows deeper, which is also a useful technique, which I will show. Okay. So those are the pages where I have silver in my coloring books, and now I'm going to move on to explaining the actual technique. Okay, so I've zoomed in on the illustrations to make it a little bit more clear. To begin with, the important thing about any shiny object is the contrast between the highlights and the shadows. So it doesn't matter what metallic object it is, whether it's gold or silver or bronze or copper or any other metal, it is the contrast between the highlight and the shadow that makes it shine. So for example, on this cog, if our light source is coming from the top right, then the light is going to hit the object on this end, and then the opposing end will be the shadow area. Okay, similarly, the same light is going to hit the inside of this other circle, which will make this side of the circle in the shadows, and that is what will makes the nail part or the screw part of the cog look a little bit more indented. Okay, because we've got the highlight on this edge and the shadow on this edge. Okay, so in addition to our highlight and our shadow, we also have two midtones. Those are the colors that merge the shadow area and the highlight area. So the darker midtone is closer to the shadow, and the lighter midtone is closer to the highlight. If you hear screaming children outside, it's because my neighbors are playing. Sorry about that, but they're very cute. Okay, so yeah, let's just get to it. Right, so I'm just putting a piece of paper under my hand so as not to smudge anything and get anything on my hand, because Prismacolor is notorious for smudging. We're going to start with this one, okay? And unlike gold, where you can start with the lightest colors and move to the darker colors, with silver, I recommend starting dark and then going light. Okay, so we're going to actually start with black. Now, keep in mind that black is a very powerful, strong color, and so you don't want to go heavy-handed at first. You want to start out light and then build up your colors. Okay, so we're going to be doing this, and as you can see, our colors are dark on this edge. Okay, so again, I'm having my highlight in this area because the light source is from here. Okay, so just a little bit of black, very light-handed. If you want to keep your pressure light, you just hold the barrel of the pencil further away from the tip, and then you will get your light-handedness. Okay. All right, so we're just putting this in lightly over here. Okay, and we're also going to put it a little bit over here. Okay, and we're going to very, very lightly put it here in the middle. You can even leave a highlight between the edge of the cog, yes, and the middle of the cog. Oh, I think my neighbors are drilling. They're doing renovations. Okay, just like there, a little bit of flicks. Okay, right now we're going to our next darkest color, which is Cool Gray 90. Okay, so Cool Gray 90, and we're going to go over the black, but not all the way. Just leave some of the black. All right. Okay, and in the middle there, around there. Okay, not all the way up to the edge of the black, just part way. Okay. All right, now we're moving on to silver. All right, so yes, we're actually going to use silver to make silver, but keep in mind that you cannot use the silver pencil just to create silver. It is not going to create highlights and shadows by itself. Nevertheless, this pencil does give the silver combination that I'm showing you a little bit of a shine, all right, but it's basically a gray pencil. Anyway, so it's silver 949, and what we're going to do is we're going to blend out the black and the cool gray and extend this color a little bit into the highlight. Okay, so here you can use slightly heavier pressure because we are blending the cool gray and the black together. Okay. Right, and we're going just a tad bit into the highlight area here too. Okay, but we want to make sure to leave the white. Okay, so this is our first midtone. So our second midtone was the cool gray. And this is our midtone number 1, the silver. Okay. Right. And now we're going to use white. Okay, so we're going to go over the highlight area and the silver and even the black and the cool gray with the white. And here you can use heavier pressure because you're blending. Okay. Okay, now as you see, as I'm using this white, I am losing the shadow area a little bit. The contrast between the highlight and the shadow area is getting lost. So all you need to do to get it back is to take your black pencil and put it back in. So we're going to do that next. Okay, but we want to make sure, yes, to keep our highlight. Okay, right. Okay, now back to black because we are going to put back our shadow. Okay, now keep in mind that if you look at it now, you're basically getting iron, okay? In order to get the silver, you've got to make the contrast stronger, okay? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to put back our black. To make the contrast stronger. Okay, and you want to put it on some of the cogs as well, like that. Even perhaps on this one. There. Okay. Okay, now we want to blend that out. So we're going to take the silver to blend, not the white, because we don't want to lose our contrast. Okay. Okay, we can even take some of the Cool Gray 90 and just merge where the black and the silver are together. It's just a matter of building up the colors. Okay, I want to blend this out a bit more. Okay. Oh, that's very nice. We've got a nice shine going on there. Okay. Take my white, blend that a bit more. So I've got a smoother gradient. Okay. Now, as you can see on this one, yes, we put a little bit of black also on this side, on these like teeth part. Okay, like that. Just gives a little bit of extra shine if you do that. Okay, but here we want to leave more white. Okay, we don't want the white to be taken away. Okay, now in order to again increase the contrast between the shadows and the highlights, we're going to add white gel pen. Okay, so first things first, we're going to add it over here. Oops. Okay, don't worry so much if it doesn't look pretty at first. We're going to pretty it up. Okay, and over here. Even on these teeth. And also on some of the edges here. Okay, you want to let it dry for a couple of seconds because we're going to take the pencil and we are going to Yes, we're going to shape it a little bit. Okay, so just give it a second to dry, right? And then you're going to want to take the black again, okay? And have it be a sharp point, okay? And you're gonna scrape away some of this gel pen, but not too much. Yes, make sure you've still got left over. Okay. Here too, you just shape the gel pen the way you want it. And by using black, you're gonna get your shadow area again, and you're gonna get that strong contrast between your lights and your shadows. You can even put it a little bit over there. Okay, but here you wanna leave your white. Okay, and there we go. We have a silver cog. Okay, now we're going to move on to the second color combination. Right, so before I move on to the second color combination, I want to show you a neat little trick. Now, if you want your cogs, yes, to have an even deeper contrast between your lights and your darks, yes, you can take a fine liner and you can deepen up the shadow even more. Okay, so that will, yes, deepen up the shadows even more and make it even shinier. Okay, but it's not really a completely necessary step. Okay, right, so as I said, now we are moving on to the last color combination, and this one will give the cog more of a bluish tint, okay? Now, if you want a bluish tint on one of the other ones that you've done without the blue, then you can just take your slate gray, yes, and add it a little bit into the highlight. Okay, and it will give the one that you've just done a bit of a blue tint, okay? All right, if you don't want to do that, then you just don't include the slate gray. Right, so again, we're going to start with our darkest color, which is black. Okay, again, our highlight is coming from here, so this part is going to be white, and this part is going to be dark because it's in the shadow. So, right, again, light pressure. We're building up our colors. Okay. Just there, that should do it. Okay, we're going to go around there. Okay, and here. In the middle, very light. Okay. Now we're going to use 50% cool gray, so that's 1063. This is our midtone, our darker midtone. Because you're using slightly lighter pencils, your shade of silver is going to be lighter. But that's okay. Sometimes you want darker silver, sometimes you want lighter silver. I actually want to get my shadow back, so again, black. Okay. So it's basically just a matter of playing with it and seeing what works. You can also use a reference photo. There are lots of photos on Pinterest, and then you can see where to put your lights and your shadows. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the sky blue light, okay, and I'm going to blend a little bit with this color instead of the silver. Remember, this is our other mid-tone. Okay, a little bit into the highlight area, not too much. Okay, and I'm also going to take the Mediterranean blue and just where the sky blue light and the cool gray meet, I'm going to put this color. It gives it a bluish tint to the metal. Which is kind of a neat color. Okay, and now we're going back to black. We're going to deepen up our shadow area. Giving the teeth. Okay, and now white, because we are going to blend out. Okay, make sure to clean in between so that you don't get black in the highlight area. Okay. Again, we're losing some of our shadow because we're putting white, so we will go and put that back in. Okay. Okay, if you want it to be a bit more blue, you can always, again, go with sky blue light. Okay, but then we want to make sure we've got our shadow. Okay, and again with the cool gray 50, blending it out. Okay. Okay, but now I want to put my lightest highlight. So again, the white gel pen. I'm just going to clean off this nib. Okay, right, and we're putting our highlight over there. Okay, on these. Make sure they're light. And you can also put it around there, around there. Let it dry a bit because we're gonna shape it. Okay, just let it dry for a sec. Okay, right, and then with our black, we're going to shape these, make sure it merges smoothly. Okay, like that. Oh, there's a truck. make it so it's getting our highlights and our shadows really prominent, so we have the contrast. Do I like that? This one doesn't look toothy enough. Okay, just make sure we've got our teeth. Right, so there we have it. We have our different cogs with our different silver combinations, and now I am going to show you how to apply it to an actual coloring book. Right, so the book that I'm working in is Steampunk Fashions by Marty Noble, and I am actually using Castle Arts pencils in this book, so that is what I will be using for the demonstration, because as I said, you can use any brand of pencil. I am nevertheless using a Prismacolor black and a Prismacolor white, because those pencils in my Castle Art set are actually finished, so I will be using the Prismacolors for that. I'll also be using the gel pen, the fine liner, and I am using, as I said, Castle Arts 120. I have the original set before they added color names, so it's number 66 and number 65. The 65 is like a 50% cool gray, and the 66 is like a 30% cool gray. And I am also using the Harmonious Ocean Sapphire instead of the slate gray. I am not going to be using the powder blue color. Okay. Right, so the page that I'm working on is this one. Okay, the Lady Steamboat picture. And I wanted to make some of the parts of the window frame silver. So I'm going to be doing these little stoppers on each side silver. Okay, so we're going to start. I am going to start with the black. If you don't know, I use a Tagal sharpener with my Prismacolors because they it's less likely to break the point. Okay, right. So now, as you can see from my background, okay, my sun is over here, okay, which means that the sun is coming in through the window and she is sort of blocking it on this side, okay? So my highlight is going to be here at the top, okay? Which means my shadow area is going to be over there, okay? So I'm just taking the black and very lightly filling in this area, okay? And I'm leaving this as my highlight. Okay, around there a bit too. Okay. As soon as you add the black, you can actually almost immediately start to see the shine because of the white of the paper. Okay, and here too. And there. Okay. Right, now I am taking my next darkest color, which is 065. Okay, and I'm just blending out that black. Okay, making sure to leave my highlight. Okay. Right. Now I am taking the Harmonious Ocean Sapphire because I want to add a tint of blue. And the reason I'm adding this tint of blue is because there's sort of like this blue in the water. And so I wanted to have a little bit of the blue, just a tad. Okay, enough. And now I'm going to take my white and blend. And now I'm going to take the gel pen. All right, let that dry for a second. Okay, I'm going to take the Stabilo fine liner and just take some of that gel pen away. Get my shadow back. Okay, there we go. I might darken up my shadows with black just to make it shine a bit more. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, this edge too. Okay, let's zoom in. Okay, that it looks silver. Yo, I'm very happy with that. Okay, so basically that is the principle of how to color silver, and it's just a matter of playing with it until you get the exact shades of silver that you want. You can add other colors. It doesn't have to actually be blue. You can also add green or pink to your silver, or even a brownish color. Sometimes when you start to add other colors, what you're actually getting is not so much silver, but steel or iron, rusty iron. But I'll show that in another video, as I said. Thanks for joining me as I demonstrated how I color silver. I hope that you find the tutorial helpful. As I said earlier, I also have a tutorial on how to color gold on the channel, and I will link that video in the description box. Feel free to comment in the comment section on which metal you would like to see me color next. And if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, I'd love it if you subscribe. There will be lots of more tips and tricks in the future. So thanks again, and bye for now.